Hello, everyone.
Hello, hello.
Mitoshi, and Iris here, too,
Hi.
on our second episode of Session Zero. You know, the
Yes.
most awkward session of them all. This is not true.
I mean, it can be. It just depends on what you're on what you're doing. I think that it can be pretty. I think it can be pretty not super awkward depending on what you're doing.
I mean, it's true, but in a lot of cases, it's like when people are meeting for the first time to break the ice and everything. And sometimes it's completely fine, to be honest, even if it's new people that you're
Hi,
interacting with.
dog. When did you get in here?
Who? What?
My dog. When did you? Hi, baby.
I guess our dogs want to watch the stream. My dog also wanted to enter and watch the
Dingus
stream.
Dingus has decided she wants to be here for stream. Hi, baby.
Yeah, it's so good. Oh yeah, session 0. A little bit back into it before we go on a tangent. Of course, some people don't like to have it. Some people are lazy to having it. People think it's not needed. What I think, I wouldn't even bring it into conversation if I didn't think it was important. It's so important.
I think session zeros can be really important just overall, and I feel like they're really important, especially if you're doing stuff with like a new group. By the way, I don't want to point out a technical issue. I'm going to point out a technical issue.
Oh.
Our special discounts covering the CCs are closed captions.
Damn it.
You're gonna have to move it. The 0% off discounts causing problems. It's too much.
Okay, how is it even happening?
I just noticed it.
Oh, I know what is happening now. Okay. You guys need to throw this. The bottom. There we go. Okay, so let's start the actual. Oh no, where do you go? No, not there. Don't go there. And anywhere but there. Now it's working. Okay.
Today on Chronicles Café, we struggle.
We always struggle. Just before the beginning of the stream, huh?
Yes, I see you. Hello.
But yeah, okay. Let's get closer. Let's start the actual talk now. But yeah, of course, I think it's very important, especially if it's a new group. I agree with you, Iris. If it's a new group, new people, just one new member, it makes a lot of difference, because eventually you can kind of get to know each other and kind of know what your DM likes, or what your players kind of like, and what is happening, and when you're already like trusting each other. There's a lot of pre-session zero by means messages like, oh, I know this cool stuff, we can play this and whatever, and oh, I want to play this, and a lot of messages. But when people are shy or really don't know the game or stuff like that, my experience is that most people don't send messages what they even want to play. Even if they have something in mind, a lot of times they don't say it. Session zeros breaks all that awkwardness away.
I agree. I feel like session zeros can be really beneficial for just about anybody. New groups, especially if you're just starting to like really get into it. I feel like it adds a little bit of interest. And even in groups that have already been around for a while, I feel like having a good session zero can really lend itself to setting the tone for a campaign.
Yes.
And it's great for establishing campaign boundaries too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I agree with everything about that. So this is the thing. People say, I'm not a new player. Why would I need sessions here? I have been playing this group for a while. But every new session can be different. And as a game master, is the best opportunity players can have to affect your world. For you to start planning things, like even adding new cities, stuff like that can be very interesting, like merging the story the players can come up with what you have come up with. This session serves is the best place for that. Sometimes pre that is very good. But yeah, in general, the whole thing about how the characters are set up and the world structure can be changed on session zero by a lot, and I feel like I'm kind of close to that. But honestly, it's great because when people start signing the session 0 and talking with how their cards are gonna be or the session's gonna be, it adds on both sides. Like they can start thinking, oh, maybe my grandfather was the one that created the sword that destroyed the last great dragon or whatever. But in the end, that sort of inspiration comes with talking with people that are gonna participate on the session, and everyone adds to themselves, to the characters, to what to expect. And you know, it's a lot of expectation that you end up having there. Like you get excited of, oh, I want to see that, I want to explore that, in all that senses.
I think that's it's about the general gist of it. It offers a chance for players to collaborate on what they want to work on, and then it also just in general sets all those expectations that you need moving forward.
Yeah, so for example, like I have never played with Eyeris, but I did have a session 0 with Eyeris.
Yeah. Get to meet my weirdo saleswoman.
Yeah.
Changeling bard.
Yes, your changeling bard, saleswoman, which hola Ika, hola querida. I hope you're doing great. But yeah. You came out with the changeling rogue, right?
No, bard.
Bard. Oh, okay, bard. Sorry. But yeah. So the idea of the bard was kind of structured there. You know, bard. They are kind of they're kind of like a criminal in a sense.
The snake oil salesman.
Yeah, snake oil salesman. But what we added for the bard in that session 0 was that not only were they an old salesman, they have been caught before by the crown. They went to prison and all of that. And you know, another player was an ex-guard. So what we did is that we defined on the session 0 that the ex-guard that used to be a guard on the city was fooled into letting Eyeris' character escape. So they have that connection before the starting of the campaign. Even if they didn't know each other, they had that connection, and that's how he became the ex-guard. They lost their job because the character escaped, but of course, being a changeling, it's not that surprised that they were fooled. And you know, they meet in the future again. They get into this situation where they're forced to collaborate, and now we have the situation where the guards none the wiser. But you know, the old salesman remembers very well what's going on.
It gives an instant hook for later on for both you as a DM and then also the other player too.
Exactly. So here's the thing with good players in general, you have those situations where you're just like taking a drink like for an hour or two maybe, and they're just role playing with each other, and how do you get to those moments? Well, everyone has to have their own weapons to role play, and those are like what I call weapons to role play in general, because are things you know the other might not know, and things to explore. And usually people, how they do it is with exposition about like 10 about the characters, and exposition can be great, but the more weapons or kind of weapons you can have, it's better in general. It sets up a lot of tone, and once players, new ones or no ones, get into that sort of mentality, it's a high up in there. It really feels very rewarding in my experience, or that's what I have seen.
I think that's the long and short of it. From a player perspective, I just always find it super helpful.
Yeah. So yeah, long and short. So I think we can go a little bit more into the specifics then.
Are you ready to present what you've been working on all day feverishly like a madman?
No. But I have to.
Yeah, you have to. You put in so much. You put in so much work. You said you'd gotten it done before. That's the thing that like really threw me off. I was like, wait a minute. I thought we finished this.
Yeah, I work last week, well, all the week on well, not all the week, but I did put a day on the week, like making kind of a setting, like a basic adventure, because how I like to go with session zeros is I like to establish I don't know the number of things. I'm gonna mention them and we can count them after, but Eyeris mentioned most of them already.
I can count them as you go for them. Go for it.
Yeah, okay. So one of them is basically limits what we'll call consent and all that, with gaming itself. Basically how we're gonna deal with issues and how we go with that. And we're gonna go later into the specifics of that. How we go with consent in general, what makes people uncomfortable. So that is one thing. The other one is basics of the rules of the system, so they can be ready. Because normally, I gotta be honest, most people that I have experience with, if I go and explain every rule or try to explain every rule, I can miss some rules, first of all. And the other one is, it's very easy to forget what you just heard and didn't actually play. It's a very common experience, especially in board games. Like, usually have like the first game that is gonna be very awkward and everyone's gonna be learning how to play the game and they're gonna mess up and stuff like that. But eventually, the second game becomes a great experience. So it's a similar experience with TTRPGs, in my opinion. You start putting rules and when situations happen, it's a good opportunity to learn those rules or to come up with some bullshit if you don't remember as a game master, or if there's actually no rules. There's a lot of situations where there is no rule at all about that. And the other thing is to set up the setting, to explain what the setting is about, if there's castles, if there's a king, whatever is going on around the setting. The era itself is part of it. If we can keep talking about it. And then is a tease or a summary of the kind of adventure people are gonna have, because even if we have the setting of dragons and all that, then I go like, oh yeah, this is an Arctic adventure and there's gonna be the desert dwellers. Like, well, Arctic's a desert, but
Arctic's tundra.
Tundras are deserts.
Are tundras a desert?
Yeah, whole deserts.
Really?
Yeah.
Hold on.
Let me Google it.
Is a tundra a desert? Oh my god, they are. I don't. What is the?
Penguins are desert dwellers.
Is the Arctic considered a tundra?
I don't know that. That is a good question.
Hold on, Arctic considered a desert? Is the Arctic is considered a desert?
Yeah, it's the largest desert of the world then.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, you can always learn something. Yeah, I was fucked up by that when I learned it, and I never forgot after that. It's like, how can that because I live basically between deserts. Like, north from my city is a desert, south from my city is a desert, east from my city is a desert, west is an ocean. So that's my concept of deserts, but then you go and say, oh, Arctic's a desert. No, that doesn't make sense, but well, it is. But yeah, you make the like, it happens a lot with, for example, in D&D with rangers. They have their favorite terrain. Man, you have that low level player, they're like, oh, I'm a forest ranger, and then okay, this takes place in the Arctic. Well, I'm useless here. I'm just a less fancy fighter.
A fighter with less steps.
Yeah, fighter with less steps. And sun magic that's just little like a sparkle of south there, not really doing much. So you really want to have your players have things that they will actually use on the session, especially if it's gonna be a short session. If it's gonna be a campaign, they can still have some things that are not gonna be used on the session, but you do want them to eventually appear on the campaign. Because if not, you're wasting their time. That's really it. But moving on with that point, the adventure rules. setting, agreeing basically, and
basically it's 5 easy steps.
yeah. So then we should move to our mock-up of a session 0 then, should we?
Yay!
Are you ready to make a character?
I'm so ready to make a character.
Okay, so this is how I start session 0. Okay, you had time to read what I sent.
Okay.
Iris, do you have time to read it? It's okay. You don't need to.
I can pull it up, have it to the side here. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Okay, all good. Okay, that's great.
Okay. All right, I see it here. All right.
Okay, so first of all, I want to talk a little bit about consent, because I like to start with that so people are a little bit more comfortable after, or uncomfortable, but in general, if they're uncomfortable after talking about consent, then we're talking about that I'm doing something wrong, or they misunderstood something, and it gives more space to talk about it, because that's the most important thing in general. Everything else can be messages, in my opinion.
Agreed.
So on consent, I usually send what is Montecook's consenting gaming list, which I should have prepared to show it on the screen, but I very much forgot that part. So consenting.
That part you did forget.
Yeah, that part I did forget. Yeah. So that list is just a simple list of what makes you uncomfortable, what you're comfortable with. So if we go through it like very quickly on some stuff, like between player relationships, NPC relationship with NPCs and players, fighters, conflict, animal abuse. There are many things that you tell. Oh, by default, of course I'm uncomfortable with animal abuse. I am uncomfortable with animal abuse, but some DMs don't really understand what they see as animal abuse and why not. So it's a good point to clear up. Like, why is it even here? Oh, I see it like that, and I'm uncomfortable with that. But if you're fighting like a tiger, of course you're fighting for your life. It's not animal abuse. It's different, or that's how I see it. But that's not how everyone sees it.
Right.
And there's quite a few points there. Usually I send that first, and then during the session 0 I go a little bit through it, and I try to highlight anything that I think is important without having too much communication on who set up what makes them uncomfortable on that list. What I do always try to tell players is that try to make their list public, and they to stay clear to the other person. But if they don't feel comfortable doing that, of course that's to be respected. But the reason I say that is because the more clear the communication is on stuff, the harder it is for stuff to happen. So let's say someone puts that they're uncomfortable with bugs, spiders, and all that, and for some reason I didn't forget, I mentioned it in the session 0, but a player forgot at the moment, and they found it funny that, hell, I put in I crawl on the ground and put in a spider in the character's backpack or whatever. And I then will try to intervene, but I could be at the moment where, at that moment I forget, and it's a player action, so I'm not bringing it, and I don't know specifically how to deal with it, or maybe I do, maybe I just forgot. Then the player gets into the situation that they have to deal with bugs, something that is uncomfortable. So at that moment, it's a good moment for the player to interrupt and say, hey, this makes me uncomfortable, or to tell or if that's not something the player feels comfortable doing, tell the DM, hey, remember this, this makes me uncomfortable. Oh yeah, sorry, I'm gonna interrupt in this. Hey, this makes some player uncomfortable, we're gonna remove this, and please, let's move along with this. So it is very important to have that communication at the beginning, because even if we have mistakes further, not everyone's taken by surprise by those mistakes.
In my usual group, one of my big things that is like my big, like, I guess you could call it like an uncomfy thing is I don't do well with like anything traumatic happening to eyes. Out of everything horror-wise, it's like one of the only things that really bothers me. And one thing that we've kind of developed a system for is if something in that game happens that would have something to do with that, we've gotten so used to each other at that point where we can literally go, oh hey, this is about to happen, Eyeris, deafen yourself and step away, and we will let you know when to come back, and we will not mention it past that point.
Yeah,
that's another good alternative to stuff like that. But it takes a lot of being able to understand your entire group.
Yeah, and that goes along with the point I tried to make, that we know now that you have issues with the eye stuff, and we can tell you to deafen. But if we don't know and you don't feel comfortable about telling people, which can happen, we just cannot tell. I cannot out you out like, hey, Eyeris, deafen, because something's gonna make you uncomfortable. It's like, oh, that's outing you out in that sense for comfortableness. So that is the point that I make. Like, hey, the more clear you are, the more communicative you are with other players too. It's better for everyone in that sense. And sometimes, as a game master or something, you wanna see something like that. But of course, I'm sorry, Eyeris, but I was thinking all this time, like, of course, Eyeris doesn't want anything to happen to eyes. Nothing to Eyeris.
No. Why would I want something bad to happen to eyes? I'm built. I'm so eye themed.
Yeah, exactly.
It's in my name.
Sorry, nothing can happen to Eyeris.
Nothing bad can happen to me.
No. But yeah. Exactly. So all that is very important to get out of the way. If it takes the whole session 0, honestly, you didn't waste your time. You can have a second session 0, or you can just do the arrest your messages. So now the messages stuff. We got consent out of the way. Everyone talks about what makes them comfortable, what they want to see, what they don't want to see, and stuff like that. Now is the setting. So in this case, this is a little bit of piece of Eyeris lore. But in the past, in the 90s. So in the 90s, where the Cold War just ended, neon clothes and floral dresses are in style. This is an alternative world where demons and other terrifying fantastical creatures are real. They are not all over the world. They are being controlled or taken care of by this organization called COS, which means control or observe and stop. They are basically a legacy organization from the Cold War, where they try to control all the communication, spy on people, their people, and other people, and stop whatever the heck they don't like, basically. They try specifically at this time to be the bridge between the perception of reality and the fantastic and nightmarish things happening in the world. So they don't do it perfectly, and some people are aware of the fantastic and unnatural creatures. Like, think about it, like you hear a creepypasta, and the creepypasta is actually real. There is that actual Game Boy game that curses people and steals children away. It is real. It is an actual demon or something going on wrong there. And some people believe it, some don't believe it, some people see it. Some people have actually seen Bigfoot around.
I love Bigfoot. He's my best friend.
Ah, yeah, you chat with him all the time on the computer.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I do. Bigfoot still uses AOL, by the way.
Oh, damn. That's tendency there. I wouldn't tolerate that. But yeah. Yeah, COS still working on the secrecy. Like, it's not a very known organization. Of course, there are rumors or people that are like, putting a tinfoil hat on. It's like, God, there is this organization called COS that has reptilians working with them and all that. And people are like, oh, that's a crazy dude. But, maybe it's not so crazy.
Conspiracy theories.
Yeah.
The good stuff.
But around that stuff, we now gonna go a little bit into the meat and ingredients of this. About the specifics. So that is the setting that we're dealing with. We're in an alternative world in the 90s, when all this thing is happening, and causes a very influential thing. That's what I mentioned, a lot of it. Because, there are more organizations, there's sort of a vampire organization, there are many things, but I don't need really to bring them up unless someone is like, hey, I want to make a vampire, and like, oh, there is this organization of vampires that you can be part of, or you can hate them, or they can be in between of your story,
Yeah, I think the vampires are pretty cool, just personally speaking.
Yeah, of course there are vampires on Eyeris lore. They have to be there.
My obsession with vampires precedes me.
But yeah, so characters here are made with 3 things in them: theme, type, and specialization. So theme is simple: horror, fantasy, corporate, what is a hunter, an outworlder, and what I call a secular. So a secular, which is the weirdest word out there, I don't know if I pronounce it right.
Secular.
Then. Sorry about that. Is someone that doesn't believe in anything. So that basically, the team is what gives their base power, of the origin of their power. So you will say, what will someone that doesn't believe in anything give the power? So the idea here, I'm stealing a little bit from Mage, from the storyteller system of Order of Darkness. Their disbelief in everything is empowered to control a little bit those disbeliefs. So it's basically the classic nullifier on that sense. Of course, not everyone can nullify. They cannot nullify everything, and some of them might just be a very good athlete and all that stuff. But in general, they at least will have some resistance to mental and psychical attacks that really affect everyone's mind. And of course, Eyeris, you will be picking a team out of this. You have the list. We have everything else. I think is self-defined. Outworlder, well, any entity that wouldn't really be from this world. Hunter, well, people dedicated to hunt these creatures that are not really a corporate situation. They could be contracted by cause, or they could be just on their own, like an old family thing. Corporate, of course, there is cause. They could be part from another corporation, a private or not a private, but they work on a more structured leveling, where they could be grunts, leaders, or whatever. Fantasy, which it is similar to horror, but think fantasy as it doesn't need to be specifically horror, and we're not talking about dragons or anything like that at the moment. We're talking about maybe it's like a witch, but it's not really a horror situation. There is just a witch, which I will say witch are very horrible in most lore, but I'm just putting it out there as an example. And we have horror, which are cursed demons, creatures from the devil, actually be Allworlder, but anything like that, and that will give them their base powers, and they are more attuned to what they do or what it is about. Then it is type, which is more tied to the physical appearance, which we have animal, mutant, amorphous, tiny, lay person, so common, so basically human, creature. And you're gonna say, what's the difference between creature and mutant? Well, mutant is an amalgamation of body parts that you can recognize. Well, a creature might be anything that really is its own thing. We'll, for example, put a dragon will really be a creature in this case. A lay person can still be a dragon. Could be an A-form, depending on what it is. And then is bound. So bound, imagine a cursed sword, a cursed game, anything that is bound to something. In reality, if we go with what Eyeris is bound to the internet, but she's really a demon. So some of them might not fit very well if it's halfway there. But the thing is that what is the base of Eyeris? Even if there's a combination of sort, what fits better will be the question.
So, if we go with this idea of what would describe me, since we are doing this mostly off my lore, would you say that based off this list, I think Bound is probably a very good jumping point for type. Would we say my theme would be like horror?
Yeah, your theme is horror.
Okay.
Definitely horror. Your Eyeris Demon. Well, Daemon, really, but yeah. It's pronounced
Horror.
Demon.
Bound.
Yeah. Horror Bound. And then we have, give me a second. My dog says that he's stopping the stream.
Yours too! Mine's barking too. I don't know if that can be right.
Come on.
Buff, buff. Boof, boof.
Oh, man.
Bark, bark.
Oh, sorry about that, anyone watch. I'm sorry. I'm blushing right now about that.
Oh, it's okay. My dog came in earlier.
Oh, yeah, okay. That's why I didn't want him to be on the stream, but he really was insistent. So yeah, then we have specialization. Specialization, it goes along more not what they are, but what they became. A little bit what they are, but you know. So, for example, they were a creature that focused on science and all that. Like, they themselves are not a science thing. They use science stuff. Do they know about science? That is another matter to know about the creature specifically. We have specialization is corrosion. So basically, corrupt creature that the classic creature that everything they touch starts to really be damaged or corrode down a little bit, slow.
Mm-hmm.
They don't specifically do that every time. It could be specific things like, for example, there are creatures that they make people older and stuff like that until they die. That is corrosion. They could be a creature that, for example, touches a car and the car slowly corrodes down and breaks down, corroding material, and anything like that sort of abilities. They're specializing in that. Then is the Hulk. I don't think there is much to explain. Is a hulking creature. They're based on strength.
Big boy.
And then we have the spy, assassin. That's kind of the stairs creature that really sneaks by, tries to gain information or kill. Then we have the mystic, which is the creature that really is more like an outsider situation or uses powers from beyond and all that stuff that does really interact into specific supernatural, which not specifically magic, could be things that really are just changing or altering, kind of like superpowers around. And then we have the psychic. So you will say, psychic is a mystic, right? Well, it is, but when I have to define psychic here is more on the mental side. And why do I have them separated is because if we go with abilities, a psychic will be interfering more with personal things than the outside world itself. Like, I think as a mystic, as someone that is going, for example, throw a fireball, meanwhile the psychic was gonna be reading your mind and stuff like that.
Right.
So what are you of those areas? I think you're a mix of few things, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But you define yourself, or what do you want to define your character as?
I think if I had to pick one of these out of this, probably mystic. I don't think now listen, I am a glitchy mess, but I don't think I am that glitchy that I work up everything around me.
There's a limit on the glitchiness, I see.
Just a bit, just a tiny bit.
Hey, I didn't say you were corrosion, huh? I didn't add it because of that.
Yeah, I think mystic's probably the best bet for me.
Yeah, honestly, I agree with that. So then, your character will be a horror.
Ooh.
What were we saying? Horror.
Oh, don't storm now.
Bound,
Please.
horror bound, mystic. Right?
Yeah, horror bound mystic.
So in all of that, we now envelop it into what I called a definition. So a horror-bound mystic in this example will be a Daemon. A Daemon will be a horror bound mystic. So now you basically add that label to what you are. I'm just putting it, or we can think it as digital demon in a sense. So in that case, you will be adding the description label because it fits those three things. Of course, you can have any label you want, but there is an example that what label you want to have. And that label is just gonna, it's gonna be the basic of, oh, I'm this, so maybe I can do this because I'm this. It's kind of like a very open ability that you have. It's what you yourself are as a unique creature per se. Well, not really unique, but more in the sense of your unique aspect instead of what surrounds and englobes everyone.
Right.
All right. We have all those three. And we could go through stats and all that because I made a system, but I'm gonna leave system for later. We're gonna continue with what I would like to go next because again, a character creation part can always be left for another session. It can be left for later. We have.
I feel like doing a character creation overview would be a good idea.
Yeah, I agree. I think we can go with that after the next step because the next step is very important also for that. So I have basically two adventures that will be run, quote unquote. So the adventure one is, you work for cause, you work for control, observe, and stop to find a missing entity that they previously captured, kill if it's necessary, without the general public realizing. That is the mission in general. What is important about me saying about this is that in this mission, they're going to be working for cause. So you're going to say, oh, but it doesn't make sense for my character. I'm going to go like, well, this is the adventure. If it doesn't fit, maybe, and you cannot find a way to make it fit, I'm gonna be honest, make another character that fits this because that is what we're planning to play in general. Or we can have Adventure 2, which if that was the case, I made it the complete opposite because I like that, and I made it the people that went to Adventure 1 be minis there, because in Adventure 2, you work as a part of a hunting company called Gators. Gators is dedicated to hunt and expose mysteries out in the wild before the government catch them. For example, Gators will be trying to take pictures of Bigfoot, find cryptids in general, maybe kill them, maybe not. They just want to find them and expose them to the world. That's their whole thing. They are not friendly with Cause because Cause is like, oh, they captured Bigfoot, they cut off their information, they don't want things to be exposed. And yeah, it's Gators.
Love Gators. Go Gators, I guess.
Yeah. This time it's a little bit different, and the entity they're seeking up arrives with them and asks for their help. It seems that they might be. It seems like it might be a useful ally. They seem to be something more dangerous happening behind what is actually the creature that you're seeking as. So the important thing is that they're not gonna start the session with the creature going to seek them. But I'm setting this up because if I don't set this up at the session 0, the moment they see the creature, they're gonna go, okay, I shoot it. They're gonna go, no, my plans for it to be innocent and the rest of the lore, where's it gonna go? And that is completely my fault. I set it up. They're hunters. What would I expect them to do? To just like be like, we're hunters, but we want to be friendly and say hi to creatures. No.
Hey, you never know. Some people might do that. I used to kidnap kobolds for fun. I used to decide they were my children now. Like any other sane D&D player.
Yeah, I mean, you're right on that. Some people might, but the majority are probably not. Or if we go to the same side, some people might not. Some people will go like, no, Eyeris, don't go. You're crazy. I shoot it before Eyeris get there.
I mean, fair, but like, damn.
not the best thing to do, to be honest. Don't stop players from doing silly things. I disagree with that. It's
Don't
part
be
of the
that.
fun.
Don't be that guy.
Yeah, don't be that guy. It always ruins it, to be honest. And it's a game. It's to have fun. What is the actual consequences? A character that's you make another one.
Yeah, who cares if you get eaten by a monster?
Yeah.
Honestly, like, screw it. Have fun doing it.
Yeah.
Have fun getting eaten by a monster.
Have fun getting eaten by a monster.
That's what you need in life.
Make funny noises as the monster saying, just like, he didn't even put salt in me.
Just ate me whole and didn't even bother to season me like it was some sort of piece of cheap meat.
Exactly. But yeah, and again, it's a game. There are some games that will have the chance for player to revive, and it can be its own quest. It can be interesting. There can always be more. So then again, that will be the adventure in general. Adventure 1 and Adventure 2. It's not we're really choosing adventures. We could in general, but that's what they are. And we technically already have the character done, so let's not worry about the adventure for now.
It's me. I'm the character.
So, you know what? Let's worry a little bit. Let's say we're working for cost. So we're going for adventure 1. Okay, now we need to set up connections. So in this case, let's say we have a few other players, and that's gonna go over what the characters are. Like we have a policeman, we have a scientist, and we have a more like a hunter kind of character. A bodyguard. Let's go with a bodyguard. So in all those 3 cases, like, okay, we have those characters. How could they be related to Eyeris' character or in general the group? Well, the policeman could have been just someone that was trying to save someone, and they didn't believe in the unreal until a creature appeared in front of them and basically murder the person they were trying to save, and they barely survived. They have a scar now to carry with them. That's a little bit hard to connect with Eyeris. Okay, then we have the bodyguard, and the bodyguard was someone that was kind of a hunter before. The hunter family was killed, and now he works for cause. That's kind of still a little bit hard to set up with Eyeris. Okay, so let's go on. But you know what? With these 2, we can connect them. Why can we not have the bodyguard be someone that trained on or went to the same school as the policeman, or even was a policeman before? Like he tried to be a policeman.
Like an old partner, yeah.
Yeah, like an old partner before he was contracted by COS. Like, because, he tried to be a normal person and be a policeman, but he just couldn't stop. The world was chasing them. He was aware of what was happening. So he then went becoming a hunter again. And he was the old co-worker, stuff like that. That is a good connection to have, and they can now go like, hey, partner, and all that, or like, you abandoned me. We used to be policemen together, and you abandoned me. It can go anyway. The interesting thing about it is that you have more than just what they are. And, well, let's continue. We have the scientist, which, he could be very easily related to Eyeris. Why not? Why could not be someone that studied their files or spent some time researching what the heck was Eyeris? They don't have to be the maker of Eyeris. They don't necessarily have to. They could be, but they could be just someone that added the stats or like read what the heck's manipulation, or make some experiments, or set up like, okay, Eyeris, now try to control this computer and see how fast you can destroy it. Stuff like that. Simple connections that still lead a lot of way to characters to really know each other. And again, maybe that will create some power struggle, which can be the issue, but there will always be a power struggle in the sense that maybe the scientist is going to go like, I'm going to tell the people at cause that what you're trying to do. But again, if Eyeris itself is planning to play Eyeris on an adventure where she's a creature on cause, I'm already expecting that Eyeris is expecting that. because Iris set up that. Iris set up herself on that situation. It's like, for example, when we talk about discrimination about goblins and a player plays a goblin, how do you deal with it? You don't go directly to discriminate them usually, but if that player comes and they create a goblin, the first thing they do is basically have a hat of disguise. We need to give that player a reason to have a hat of disguise. Of course, we're gonna pester them or hunt them all the time, but we can create a place where they have issues if they don't use the hat of disguise, or they're just not treated as well, because that is the player expectation, and that's what they want. The end. Drama is part of entertainment.
I feel like sometimes inter-party conflict can always be really fun to have. I personally enjoy it. I love butting heads with my party members in character, not out of character. But like in character, I live for the drama.
I live for it. Can you give us an example, Iris, of a drama you went through?
Oh, yeah, I can. Very recently, in one of our campaigns, we had a situation that came about where a lot of the conflict came to deciding whether or not a criminal needed to be punished. And my character was of the opinion that regardless of the bad deeds they did, it happened to they harmed bad people, so they shouldn't be punished for it. But the other person that I was talking to in that campaign, their character was like, no, they did wrong regardless of who it happened to. They need to be punished under the law.
Gotcha.
I like inter-party conflict. It drives me.
How did that go then? It was punished.
We haven't actually resolved the situation fully yet.
Nice. So you're already preparing your arguments then.
We're gonna figure it out.
Punch it out. I got it. I'm joking. No, but yeah, it is very part of drama between players. It's very interesting, especially if you can trust the players to not get outside of the game. To just sit there and enjoy it, and it's so much fun. Or even add little pieces to it. Like, for example, let's say that they're deciding what to do, and you can add little comments as a DM, like, no, I'm but whatever, and yeah, let's do that. Let's set me free. Yeah, I like that idea. Or we can murder him. Oh, I don't like that idea.
I feel like it's just fun, and then like inter-party conflict just makes everything a little bit better. And then honestly too, like, I'm a big proponent for PvP. I love fighting people. It's like my favorite thing when I'm in a game and we wind up having a PvP session where we're duking it out. I don't know why it gives me joy to fight other players.
Oh, okay. For that, it's a mixed feeling for me, because it depends on who you're playing with. Because if I know it's someone that is gonna be taking it personal, I prefer to help it. But if no one takes it personal, honestly, I'm all up for it. I'm gonna be on the corner like, fuck them up, not gonna say a name who. Just like,
fuck him up! Grab his dick and twist it!
Exactly. It's like, they're both women. Still do it.
Grab their tits and twist it!
Yeah. So, I think that is the basic of saying the adventure and all that. Now we can go to character creation. Like we did the first half, like the team and all that.
We're gonna get into the juicy stuff like stats.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna go into juicy stuff like stats, which is something that I didn't share with Iris because I was doing it today, a few hours before this.
Toshi didn't finish his homework before we started.
Like 10 minutes before we started. The only thing I don't have is like actual abilities that we can use or stuff like that. But you know, when it's a homebrew game and all that, you can figure them out as people are doing it. Balance is not that important, is it?
I mean, I think violence is very important. I don't know what you're talking about. I love
I'm
violence.
joking. I'm joking. Of course, it's important. Here is my document. Okay, so I made a system called Vibrant Thread. Vibrant Thread is a simple system that can turn deadly very fast. All characters have 3 states: dreading, vibrant, and stable, which affects how well you can affect the role around them. Forget the dread and stay alive and vibrant. That is the description I have for the system.
Wonderful.
So the system uses 2d12s because I was like, I'm gonna use a dice that it doesn't get a lot of use. Why not?
Okay. A d12 is out of the ordinary.
Any situation, this is just a 2d die system in the end, to be honest. It can be a 2d20, but why not a d12? So
it could be a d6 too. Just kind of depends on what you're feeling, I guess.
Exactly. So I'm gonna go first with the system itself, then we're gonna go with stats. So how the rolling works. So
do I need to get my dice? I don't know where they are. I can get my dice. Where are my dice?
If you want, to be honest.
Where the hell are my dice? Hold up.
Don't you have dice? Oh no, you don't. You only have. Okay.
Oh, I found them.
Nice.
I found my click clacks.
It's precious. Click clacks. Nice.
Little dice ASMR.
Oh, I didn't think about that. Actually,
My...
that's a good idea.
I know, right? Satiate all the dice goblins.
You're gonna have like some dice rolling in the background. Something nice. And then it's gonna be, fuck, how can I get 229 once in a row? That's impossible. Fuck this dice.
My singular D12 here, so I'm ready to go.
Okay. So it's a very simple system. Basically, the classic, you roll for initiative. In this case, you roll a d12, add your stat. In this case, I have 2 stats that are called agility or focus. You can use either of those 2 to roll your initiative. You decide as a player or as a game master what's better for you.
Okay.
Once combat begins, there are 3 types of actions, which is major, minor, and reaction. You can tune your major action into 2 minor actions. So major actions are stressful, forceful things you want to do in general, like attacking, dealing with a computer, things that really take your attention or focus on to do during that round, or something that another person is trying to avoid you doing. Like for example, if someone's blocking the door, even if opening a door is a minor action, well, passing through the door is going to be a major action in that case, because there's someone in the way of doing it. While minor actions are things that you can do quickly or that you can do while doing something else. So for example, let's say you're grabbing a bottle while paying attention to your TV. You don't really need to look at the bottle. Let's say you want to walk while talking. You don't need attention to put on your feet too much on walking or running on that situation. And those are basically the minor actions. Minor actions usually don't require to roll unless there is a specific case that the object itself requires it. Let's say, for example, a door would cost you a minor action to open, but it will cost you. You will need to roll if it's a locked door. In that case. And again, different situations could be a major action in the example of a locked door if it's like not properly locked and it's just like it has a wedge. Of course, it's a minor action. If it's locked because a giant is holding it on the other side and just laughing while you try to pull it, it's gonna be a major action because again, contradicting character options. So then we go into the rolling. When you face a challenge, is when you're gonna roll. So the challenge is divided in 3 types of challenges. regular, Vibrant, and Dreadful challenge. I'm gonna repeat Vibrant and Dreadful a lot on this. So the roll is you roll 2d12, and individually you add your stat that you're rolling to them. So going for the example, can you roll the d12 twice, Iris, and tell me the results?
8 and 12.
8 and 12. So let's say you have 3 on that stat, whatever stat is. So it's gonna be 11 and 15. So in a regular challenge, let's say the challenge was to get a 15 or more, and it's a regular challenge. On that situation, you are gonna have a dreadful success. What is a dreadful success? Basically, you succeeded, but something didn't go completely right. Something kind of went wrong, and whatever happens is according to the situation, but you might lose some stats, you might lose some HP, something actually happened even if you accomplished that. Like if you were able to grab the bottle from someone, that someone managed to scratch you as you were pulling it away. Anything like that. Of course, we have the actual success, which in a normal roll you need to have both rolls succeed. Or if the both fail, it's gonna be a fail. That's really what it is. On a Vibrant challenge, which is basically the easy challenge, you only need to succeed on one roll. So you got one roll, succeed on that, you succeeded, you were able to pull the potion from the person's hand, and nothing bad happened to you. But if both fails, depending on the situation, you're either gonna have a failure or a dreadful success. It also depends a lot on the situation there. While a dreadful challenge is what I call you are fighting to survive. Basically, you find this evil entity that is gonna corrode everything on the side, and you get the challenge to try to resist it. Let's go again. In this case, Iris, you have a failure. You need both rolls to succeed to at least have a dreadful success. Because there are situations that no matter what you do, something's bad's gonna happen to you. So you're just getting the least worst of it. This works a little bit different on combat, because on combat, both the defender and the attacker roll.
Okay.
So now we have the 12 and the 15. I'm gonna put it very quickly on the screen just to have it as a little bit of a visual example.
Okay.
So give me just a second. Yeah, that works. Okay. 12 and 15. Can you roll again, Iris, and pretend to be the defender?
I got 10.
Okay, let's go again.
And 5.
10 and 5. Okay, so let's go with 10 and 5. In this case, the defender only rolls one roll, so roll me again.
Okay. 9.
9, okay.
And 7.
Oh, we only care about the 9 right now because it's only one roll. The other person, the attacker rolls 2 rolls. The defender only rolls 1 roll. So you got a 9?
No, 9.
So let's ignore stats for now. Let's just have the numbers on the screen. We have 10, 5, and 9. Let's say both have 1 their stat, and that's their total. It's the same. So here in the case, the challenge is set up by the attacker. The attacker has a 10 to succeed, a 10 to succeed, a 5 for a dreadful success, and below a 5 is gonna be a failure. So basically, the defender is trying to avoid or resist the attack depending on what they do. We're gonna go over that on the stats, and depending on what they decide to do, is the succeed they got. So in the case here of a 9, they got a dreadful success, which is specifically for combat or ability what happens. But the thing here is that the attack itself is setting the 2 params for what is actually happening. So if, for example, Eyeris roll in defense below 5, it's gonna be a failure. If they roll 10, it's gonna be a success. So basically it needs to be the 2 numbers And in the case Eyeris rolls 2d12, Eyeris will have what is basically a critical, and a vibrant roll. So in that case, Eyeris gets an automatic success on their attack. The other player failed because they don't have an option. They cannot get better than 12. That is the situation. And on vibrant rolls, there is a specific function for them. Vibrant rolls don't only give you the success, they give you another major action if it was used for they give you another major action, or you can gain one spirit from them. We're gonna go with spirits are there later on that, but that is basically how it works. Of course, there is complete failure, which is basically a dreadful roll, which is 2 nat 1. You lose spirit when you have that, and basically your attack fails instantly. And that goes with rolling. If you get 2d12, which is difficult, you get vibrant. If you get 2 ones, you get a dread roll, basically. It's a little bit difficult to get into those, but that is the situation. They are big rewards, and they are dreadful rewards, which we're gonna go with that soon. So now, let's go into stats.
Okay.
So we already have basically the definition of the character. We now need the stats. The stats are here basic. I didn't add skills because I just wanted to work with base stats for this. And this is supposed to be a simple system. So on this, stats are, we have 6 stats. We have might, agility, endurance, focus, memory, and energy. So might is your physical strength and how much you can take. So this affects both your health and the strength of your character for some abilities. Agility, well, is how fast, the movement. It affects some special abilities. Like, it's not the common attack for rolls and stuff like that. It's for special abilities only in combat sense. Then we have endurance, which you can use to basically block attacks and also adds to your health. So your health is a combination of might and endurance. Then
hold on. So might and endurance.
Yeah. I can kind of show a little bit of my screen on the PDF, so I have that on the screen.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi. You mean so far I'm explaining a system that I made 2 hours ago. And a lot of things. Honestly, you should watch the VOD. This is very great episode.
There's a lot that we've had going on through today.
Yeah, it's been a great episode.
Mock session 0. I've got my click clacks for today.
Yeah. Okay. So continuing with the stats. Forbidden candy.
Very much forbidden candy.
Yeah, I don't need it.
So we had might, agility, and endurance.
Yeah, so now we go with focus, which is the mental acuity. How you will need it to maintain focus on some situations, like when you're in a stressful situations and you're in, like, trying to focus on making a code on a computer or something that really you have a specific ability that requires your focus or many turns. Well, you're gonna need it. You're definitely gonna need it. But it also adds to your ability to put vibrancy out of your spirit. I'm gonna go specific what that means, but basically what I'm saying here, you have health, which is the mix of might and endurance, and you have spirit, which is the mix of focus and energy. The more focus is the more spirit you're able to pull out of. So thinking about it as is trying to have this joyful expression when you're like very sad but you have this family meeting that you really wanna not want it to ask questions, why are you feeling so sad and all that, So that is why focus is affecting all that. Then we have memory, which memory is important in 2 things. One is retention of information. So if you want to ask your DM, hey, what were we doing last time? I'm gonna go like roll memory, or but you know what? That's boring. Why only use a stat for that? Why not use it for make it more interactive for everything? So memory, it also helps you remember in a stressful situation what abilities you have. So thinking about it like a wizard having these spells ready to have them on the spell book. Memories will be the stat that defines how many active abilities you can take through a day.
Okay.
Again, you could switch them up between sessions or whatever, but in general, everyone goes through having memory. Because, you know, everyone can forget like, oh yeah, I forgot I can do that. You're right. Then we have energy. Energy defines how much vigor a character can have. And a character that doesn't have vigor is a dreading character. We're gonna go... Honestly, it's gonna be the last thing we go, but it's the nitty-gritty of this. So that is the base stats. Right now, how it works is that you basically, everything starts... all your stats start with a 3. You get 3 more points to allocate wherever you want, to a maximum of 5. And you can allocate your points you can remove from someplace to a minimum of 1 to set up somewhere else.
So everything starts at 3. Okay. And then I have how many points to spend?
3 to spend, and you can move around.
So points around to a minimum of 1. Alright. So if I were to build this, and I were to build myself as we've been using as an example here, I'd probably actually remove one of my might. That would give me 4 points to spend. I might remove one of my memory because I am a forgetful bitch. And then I would put 2 points in energy because I feel like that's pretty important. And then I will, brings me back down to 3 to spend, put 1 in focus to make it 4. Brings me down to 2 points to spend. And then I'll take and put the additional, say, I'll put the additional 2 into agility.
Okay, I'm gonna put them on the screen. Yeah. So, we agreed that Eyeris, what was your team and all that?
It was horror, bound, and I think we went with mystic, correct? Yes, horror, bound, and mystic. So that would give me, if I'm not mistaken, let's see, might 2, agility 5, endurance 3, focus 4, memory 2, energy 5. And then my health would be my might plus my endurance. So I would have 5 health. Who says I can't do math? I can do math just fine.
That sounds a little bit personal there.
Great at math. So good at math.
Nice math. Okay.
So good at math.
Okay. Okay, I put it on the screen for now. We have Eyeris. It doesn't read very well, but it's last minute thing, so it's fine. It's fine. But yeah, we have 5 energy, might, and all that, right? So with this, we get our meta stats, which are basically health and all that. We only have 4 meta stats because it's supposed to be a simple system. So we have, first of all, health, which is might plus endurance. So in this case, okay, what is your endurance?
My endurance is 3.
Okay.
Yep.
Forgot to add that one. So your health would be 5. And then your resistance is endurance, and so it's just 3.
So resistance would be
spirit. I think your spirit is 10. Energy, oh, it's 9. Focus, energy, and 9.
So it's energy and focus?
Yeah, energy and focus.
Okay.
And mental fortitude, which is basically resistance for the mind, it's gonna be just focus. Yeah, just focus is gonna be 4.
Wonderful.
Finally, we have movement, which I'm not gonna add to the screen because it's agility, and ability slow, which is just memory. And we don't need them for now.
So that would be 7 for reference.
7? I'll be 7.
If we were doing movement, you said it was...
No, it's just agility. It will be 5.
Oh, it's just agility? Oh, 5. I misheard you.
No. I said that we have movement, which is just agility, and we have ability slots, which is memory.
Ah, okay.
Yeah. So those are your stats right now. So what this tells me is your character will not be taking a lot of physical damage, but you know, it can take a lot of mental damage in general, which makes sense with your lore. We go with that, to be honest.
Yes.
I like it. So we are gonna come into the nitty-gritty of what this meta stats mean. Okay. You know health, but what is health in Radiant and Vibrant Dread? What is health here? So health here represents how well your body is handling the situation. You know, it's physical, normal. That's not weird. But what happens when you reach 0? When you reach 0, you keep playing like normal. Your character is dying, but you can play like normal because your mind is keeping you alive. But here's the thing, how long can your mind tolerate it? Every turn, your health is 0. And you're in dying condition, which means there are sometimes things that might take you a little bit, like most of your rolls gonna be dread rolls. Basically every kind of roll gains a level of difficulty because you're on 0 health. So if they were B-brand, they become normal. If they were normal, they become dread. And dread, well, I hope you have good luck with those.
Fair enough.
And every turn that you're with 0 health, your mind is gonna take 1 point of health. So basically, you're gonna having an unresisted damage for your spirit. You're gonna slowly lose your spirit until it gets to 0. You have 0 health. Once you get to 0 of spirit, you instantly die. They're gonna go like, huh, but then I become immortal. I cannot take any more damage. No. Every damage you take outside, you can no longer use your endurance. Your endurance is over now. You used to use your focus as if it was your endurance, or dodge the attacks, because any damage you receive is gonna be translating to your spirit, reducing by according to your focus abilities. And it's similar with spirit, but you know, spirit is a little bit more special than health here, because how do you stay B-brand? So B-brand is both a mode for players to be on when they get a critical success on something. They become in the B-brand state, which the new action they gain is a B-brand action. What I mean by that is that any action that you take, it will automatically gain its more powerful form, which is what we call the B-brand abilities. To use them normally, you use one of your spirit points. You drain yourself one of your spirit points. You focus on the ability. You use your spirit to make it in a B-brand way. and slowly you corrode away as you are using your speedrun abilities because you get tired spiritually and emotionally in a way. And as it drains down, there are creatures or situations that might drain your spirit. I'm like looking at like a horror, looking at a friend decapitated might, That's something that's very good to help your spirits up. So there are many situations that can take your spirit. There are mental. It's very uncommon, but there will be mental creatures like Eyeris that will carry your spirit away. And what happens when your spirit is 0? Well, you enter with the state of dread. You become dreadful. So when you become dreadful, the worst of your character comes out. You can no longer hide behind a mask of what your high spirit is like. The worst of you comes out. So that's a good opportunity for you to roleplay that way. Like, oh, bitch, just finally shut up. Like, what the fuck, Eyeris? Why are you saying that? You're always nagging when we're in these situations. Stuff like that. The worst of you comes out during those situations because you no longer have the spirit to maintain the facade of a happy, joyful person or whatever in a personal situation is. Maybe your facade is to be like this person that's very demanding, and inside you're someone that's very shy and trying to pretend to be this person that really is not you. So on this situation, when you take damage on or mental damage in general, well, when you're very stressed, it affects your health. So it's similar here. Your health begins to start affecting. Different from health, you don't lose every turn 1 health because your spirit is 0. But if you get more stress or anything, that happens. And you cannot make any more B-brand abilities. You cannot use any more B-brand abilities. Those are no longer usable unless you make basically a critical roll, which in that situation you gain an extra turn where you can use instantly a B-brand ability, an extra action. Sorry. Something deep came out of you and you were able to do it. There is more that you can do. All actions also gain a level of difficulty here. And of course, if your spirit's at 0 and your head goes to 0, well, I hope you're ready to go to the other side. On the description here, I have a little bit of a difference from Hell You Die, because I think that on your lore, there are immortal beings, and why can a player not play it? So at that point where the health and mental and spirit is 0, is when they either become insane and they become basically an NPC at that point, or they just too tired of the world and get into nihilism, decide not to do anything anymore and go away kind of situation. Because, well, it's a way to play it. Then we have resistance and mental fortitude, which we went a little bit over the rules about how they work already. If someone attacks you, you use this stat, but we didn't go over what happens with a success, dreadful success, and a failure. So on a success or on resisting an attack, you basically double your resistance and reduce the damage of the attack by the amount of the resistance. If you get a dreadful success, you reduce the damage of the attack by resistance, but the attack does damage by the minimum of the enemy level. This game favors a lot the damager. And then on a failure, you're still resisting. You're still decided to resist, to put yourself in the attack and all that. So you still reduce the damage, but this time is by half of your resistance. And still, the minimum damage is the enemy level. Of course, you can always decide to dodge. In the sense of dodge, you either have a a success, or all the damage goes through, no matter your resistance. Then we go to mental fortitude. It basically works the same, but for mental attacks and stuff like that. If we're talking about combat, if we're talking about keeping focus, well, it's a regular roll. And yeah, it also reduces. Also, you can basically, you basically use it instead of resistance once you get into a dying condition. So those are the basic rules of the system. Any questions?
No, sounds pretty straightforward to me.
Come on, give me questions, Sorry, I'm joking.
When you explain it concisely, my brain goes, "Oh yeah, no, we're good."
No, it's fine, it's fine. So yeah, that is how we'll go explaining a system, of course. System not complete. Maybe one day will be.
Maybe one day we'll finish it.
Maybe one day we'll finish it. One day I decided to do it 2 hours before the stream start.
Maybe.
But
maybe someday.
Okay, I'm gonna go about this because this is gonna ask now for your player experience. What do you feel it could be better, more clear, or whatever? What do you feel it could have changes, or would you like to see?
I feel like maybe there could be some changes in the amount of stats we have. For as simple of a system as it is, I feel like maybe bring those stats down to maybe about 4 could help simplify and streamline it. Also, there should be more vampires.
There should be more what?
More vampires. That's my other criticism.
Okay, I'm gonna add more vampires. Okay.
Thank you.
So we're gonna now add the team vampire, the type vampire, and the specialization vampire.
Boy! That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, vampires are not gonna be horrors. They're gonna be their own their own team for themselves.
They're their own thing.
Yeah. They're not gonna be a creature, mutant, amorphous, or layperson. They're just gonna be vampires. And a specialization, you know, why be a psychic or a scientist when you can be a vampire?
Sometimes you just gotta be there.
Okay, so okay, this is not the stream for reworking everything, but it does help me a little bit to work in the future. And yeah, I can see your point. It's a simple system. Why am I worrying about, for example, memory and stuff like that? Because memory is an extra. And we can also already take out what is agility. Because might can be used as agility. And the system will basically stay the same. Because the main grid of the combat, which is the only thing that's really defined besides the regular rolling, is those two. It's just, it only requires those 4 stats. And it works the same, it kept working. Of course, instead of having 3 extra points, you will have 2 extra points instead of 3, because you get basically that. And it can definitely work, but you can work that for later.
Yeah.
So, oh yeah. I hear the dog.
I know.
That's okay, it's okay, you like dogs. Okay.
She's got opinions. She's got big thoughts tonight.
She didn't like the system at all. She's saying shit.
She's very upset about it.
She also wants it to be dogs in the system, you know? Like, why vampires? Why not dogs? Dog pyres.
Dog pyres. It's a chupacabra.
It's chupacabra.
That's just a chupacabra, and you know it.
It is chupacabra.
That's just the dog vampire. El Chupacabra is just the dog vampire.
Human dog vampire, by the way. But yeah, that will be the... That honestly will be basically session 0. Of course, with more people, it will take more time. Going to stats, going to rules. The more complicated the system is, the more you need to invest into the parts of it. But on this, we could also segue into defining a little bit more of Eyeris' backstory into the game.
I can plug my lore. Read part 1 of my lore on my website.
Yeah.
Oh, she wrote the majority of it. I just did a little proofreading.
It's just.
Shameless plug.
I went crazy with the lore. It was a nice experience.
Bro, you wrote a whole novel! What are you talking about?
It's a light
Crazy
novel.
with the lore.
It's a light novel. It's just like 50 pages.
Yeah, it's a light novel with like a long title. This could be in its own anime series, buddy. Like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Long title? Oh yeah.
The light novel might.
Hello, Jemo. How you doing?
Hi, Jemo.
You know what? Since we ended up having extra time, why not go into the consenting gaming PDF?
Yeah, let's check it out really quick. Let me put up my clicky clacks. Sorry, I gotta put the clicky clacks away. Put them back in their little container.
It's fine.
Good night,
The shaking. You will have... Okay, come on, load. Load PDF, load. I gotta say, anyone that has time, do check the consenting gaming.
It's free!
It's free. Montecook, a very good TTRPG creator, made it. And it can be used for anything. If you read the full book, it's got even some advice of how to use some techniques that people had made over the years to get out of situations. Yeah, like for example, if you're uncomfortable with something, they have what is called the X card, which online I just sending me a message with an X, but it's basically presenting an X card and not saying anything about what's going on when something makes you uncomfortable. There's also the lines in I don't remember what, which basically it uses 2 cards, which is like, this is FE, I don't like it a lot, skip over, or like, I don't like this at all, rewrite it, do it again.
I don't know if I'm able to, but I can always link it in chat.
Oh yeah. If not, I should.
Oh, I have to be a follow. Why was I not following you?
Damn, Eyeris.
Damn, I'm the co-host and I wasn't even following. Anyway.
Oh, let me give you mod status. I think it's...
boy, I get mod status? Yay!
I mean, you're appearing basically every 2 weeks.
I'm a regular. But yeah, no, check this out. This whole the whole PDFs here are really useful. I think they can be really nice. And it's form fillable PDF. It's form fillable, which means that you can send this to your group and your group can fill it out and send it back, and then everybody has a reference of what everybody's okay with.
Okay, I'm gonna post it again because I didn't have the links for it. How do I pin? I don't know how to pin stuff. I have been streaming almost a year now and I don't know how to pin stuff. Hey, thank you. But yeah. Okay, I'm gonna show screen with what this is. What is the form and everything. And honestly, it's form fillable, it's very nice, and it doesn't take long because it's something that you can very easily see how it works.
It's 1 page.
And if you go to any scenarios, I see this as something very useful when you're collaborating. Honestly, I want to normalize. I can even normalize doing this for collabs, you know?
Wait, that actually reminds me. I did run into a consent form for collabs.
Oh,
that might be something to also mention. I'll send it to you later.
Yeah.
I found it just the other day.
Yeah, no, do send it to me. Send it to me. Okay, we are not visible anymore. But
It's okay.
That's fixable. You know what? Yeah, let's not be visible at all to allow people to see this better.
Mm-hmm.
So this is the consent checklist. So it is very simple. Game master, player name, game team. So in this case, will be a horror team. To be honest, I think it is horror team.
So, for instance, let's say I filled it out for me, and I'll do that real quick while you're going over it, and then we can see what it looks like filled out for people.
Sounds good. So, if this game were a movie, what kind of movie will it be? So, I don't see it as being adult movie. It will seem more like a rated R. But now you know, not being specific with loot or anything, stuff like that. Then we get into the nitty-gritty. So here we have him in the description. Let's mark it with how we feel about things in general. So with horror in general, well, I feel good with horror. Bugs, how do you feel? Like good. A little bit iffy with bugs, or I don't want to see or hear about bugs at all situation. Then with blood, demons, eyeballs, gore, harm to animals, harm to children, rats, spiders, and there's some space here to add your own if you need to. Then we have relationship, which I talked at the beginning of the stream. So how do you feel about romance in general? Should we fade it to black about the romance fading to black? So instead of having like the PDA kind of situation that's like, okay, and they start romancing and blah blah blah, and we don't talk about it. Some people don't like fade to black, I gotta say, so that's something. Being explicit with romance. Now romance between player characters and NPCs, and then romance between player characters. And I know why they did this, and is because it is easier to disassociate NPCs with the person playing them than with between player characters. It is harder to disassociate the relationship that way. And then we have the same, but instead of romance, we have sex. Some games do have sex, and I'm not judging them for that. It is what it is for how people feel. Then going a little bit lower, we have some space for relationship about your own stuff. And when we have social and cultural issues, which is homophobia, racism, real world religion, sexism, and the specific cultural issues, you're gonna say like, why do I want any of those? Because drama can make interesting. You have to make the villain have an issue, for example, or to be better, for someone to become better, they need to have issues before.
There we go. I sent the
nice. So everything that is blank on a story structure, it's boring. Things need to change in general. Then we have mental and physical conditions. Cancer. Well, let's go directly with the Eyeris one, to be honest. Let's just open that one, and we can continue from there. That was fast, I gotta say.
Thank you. I know what I'm here for, and I'm honestly okay with a lot of stuff, so this helps.
Yeah. So now we're going with Eyeris. Now I know Eyeris is like all there for horror, but we're playing a horror team here. You know that. I was fine with bugs, blood, demons. Avals are a hard no, so now I know when to fade it to black for Eyeris. So any Avals that come up, I'm just gonna go with, okay, let's skip this, or hey Eyeris, deafen a little bit. Then you're going to the bathroom if you want to tell other people or whatever. Gore, well, we can keep it simple. A lot of people are not comfortable with gore, but in the sense that, and they rip up their stomach, and I don't go detail what organs and every details of what happens with things. I'm to animals, I can just say, like in this example with Jello, like, and this is and the person starts feeding their dog out. I don't go into the details of how, where, with what the dog is being harmed or animal in general. Same with children. Rats,
they're okay. I don't mind them too much.
Yeah, but I won't go into sending rats all the time with you. Like, I will put them, you know,
Unless they're cute rats.
I won't put rats outside of their environment.
Yes.
That will be the thing. Like, oh, I'm going to the sewer. I'm expecting rats. Of course, there are gonna be rats in the sewer. They're going there. And even your character can say, no, I'm never going down there, and you never get to meet the rats because you never went to the sewer.
You don't get to go see the rats.
Yeah. Spiders are harder to avoid in that sense. Spiders can be anywhere. But in that sense, I'm not gonna go into making it super creepy or this detailing how they claw or stuff like that. They're like, oh, there's a spider there, or a giant spider throwing poison, whatever. So here's the thing with Jello, you wanted to make them appear as less as possible, and also to be the less descriptive about that stuff. Then we have relationships, which is romance. Iris is okay with romance. Is the fade to black Jello. So what does that mean for you, Iris? I gotta ask this.
I feel like romance and sexual content can kind of blend together sometimes. Mm-hmm. So I try to play on the more safe side. So that's why I've labeled it like that. It's a lot more explicit with the actual sex section, but I know sometimes those things can overlap a little bit. I'm fine with romance overall, but I feel like if it gets to a point where it becomes more than that, or there are implications, that it just winds up being something that's happening kind of on its own.
So in general, you want to, well, if we read sex, yeah, you're right, it's more to avoid the physical part of the romance in general.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense, and
that's why we clarify these.
And that's why we clarified this, exactly, because I'm, for example, if I put a NPC and let's say Eyeris use them as a tool by flirting with them or whatever, and the NPC is now like infatuated with Eyeris, I'm not gonna go like the guy being super all the time being nasty, you know, that situation. Not really nasty, but I mean like give Eyeris their space, even the character is there. They might say a few words, but then I'm gonna go, oh, he goes and touches your leg and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Now between NPCs and PCs, you're fine with both. So in that sense, that will be also telling the players like, hey, it's fine, but put a little bit like on this sense, because even if it's fine, not too much. And this is important thing, because even if I understand this, we don't know how players will interact, especially if you don't know them. I would suggest to know the person first before trying to set into that. Again, it can set up a lot of good drama, but it all goes depending to that. And social and cultural issues, Eyeris has no issues with seeing the issues in the session. Will their character have issues with them? Very likely they would. Would Eyeris have issues with them if she sees them in real life? Very likely she would. I don't know, but this is saying like it's okay to put them on the game. It's okay to have a homophobic NPC. Of course, he's gonna probably get their ass beaten up. And stuff
but it's
like
okay to have it, because I like to hit racists.
Exactly. How else are you gonna experience hitting up a racist person?
Exactly. You could do it in real life.
I could do it in real life. I wish I could do it in real life more. Then we have physical health. So it's cancer, claustrophobia, freezing to death, gaslighting. Eyeris is not okay with genocide, so I wouldn't go describing how every person dies or how they were killed. I just go, oh, they disappear, or oh, they died. All the people in the town is down. Is that your genocide emote, Gemo?
I guess so. Damn.
Damn, you want genocide, I see.
Damn.
Natural disasters, resistant, all good. So if you see, I'm skipping over most that things are good and focusing more on what things are yellow and red. Raise genocide? What the heck?
Gemmo!
Gemmo, no! That's a bad thing!
Gemmo, you can't do that!
Give me that!
You're not allowed to have toys anymore.
Yeah, you can. You're not allowed to have swords. Joking. Yeah, joking. You say joking now that you don't have the sword. Sure. But yeah. Again, pregnancy, miscarriage, abortion. Honestly, with this one, I will need a little bit of clarification from Eyeris. Like, oh, because these are 3 things. So do you mean the 3 things, Eyeris, or do you mean, you know,
mostly the later half? Pregnancy
the later
itself
half.
is fine,
okay.
But the other half can be kind of touchy.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's kind of touchy. I understand that. So honestly, in general, since this is yellow and I hear this is later half, I'm gonna take this as red in my mind, and keep this as a green. Since it will also clear up. So this is important even if you have this file. Talk with people.
Clarify with your crew. Make
Exactly.
sure everybody at the table knows the expectations.
Then we have self-harm, which honestly, yeah, a lot of DMs, a lot of people going through self-harming becomes very uncomfortable. Of course, it's normal in some ways. You can have it, but don't go into describing every scar. And worse, don't go into describing how they are doing it. Make it that shit off-screen. This situation. So, sexual assault. Big red. I wish I could say automatically that this is something that you don't need to think about, but as a new player...
Sometimes in some groups, it can be there.
Exactly. You're never gonna see it on my groups, but... I know too much. Okay,
I've seen too much.
Then we have starvation and terrorism, which is green and yellow. I'm gonna combine information, and I think you mean genocide, which you're not okay on the yellow here.
Oh yeah, I might have accidentally clicked it.
Okay. Torture. This I'm surprised you're okay with torture, but okay. I mean, I do put torture sometimes if people are okay with it. It adds drama. And it's up to the bad guy. I'm gonna be clear on this. In mine, I'm okay with basically everything. Some depends on with the person in general, but in general, I'm okay with everything except with animal abuse and child abuse. That is the only one that it can get to me. But yeah, this is the considered in gaming. You can add your additional topics here if you have specific things you want to tell your DM. Is like, I'm gonna finish Eyeris. Yeah, there we go. Let's look at full Eyeris shit now.
Yeah, that's about right. Thanks. Please have that part.
Well, yeah.
I'll give you a whole $1 if you add vampires.
Yeah, damn, not even a cent, more than a cent. Damn, I'm not gonna all much money. Yeah.
Okay, you drive a hard bargain. I'll give you $2.
Whoa. Okay, I might add a half vampire then.
I can deal with that.
You can deal with that.
I can go with that. I can deal with the Dampier.
The Dampier. Yeah, Dampiers. Dampiers can be fun. You can add a lot of drama to them. Okay, let's go back to the screen. And honestly, we're close to ending this. Anything you want to add, Eyeris, to anything?
I feel like we kind of got everything all together. He never said what half. Oh shit, you right. We can pull this. We can clutch this.
We can clutch.
I
don't know, Eyeris.
What half?
Roll mental fortitude.
Hold up.
Roll mental fortitude.
Give me a sec.
And depending on the roll.
Oh hell yeah! Hold up. This is an excuse to get the dice back up. I got this shit.
I got
8 and 10.
So it's 12 and 13. Oh, We're gonna go. Okay, I'm gonna let you to choose what half. It's a full success.
It's both halves vampire.
No, one of those half. So you have to choose upper, lower, left, and right.
I know the rules.
I know the rules.
I know the rules. You never said what half. It's 2 halves vampire. They're still technically half vampire. It's just the other half is also vampire.
No, you can do that?
Yeah, you can do that. It's specific.
It's specific?
You weren't specific. It wasn't in the fine print. I know what I'm here for.
Fine. It's gonna be a double half vampire.
Yeah.
So basically, 2 half vampire married, had a children, and the vampire ended up with the 2 half of the vampires of their parents.
That's smart.
I was gonna make like if it was a successful fail, I was gonna make it into left half, right half. You know, you get a little bit of both experience of lower and top vampire.
Left Twix, right Twix, both vampires.
Exactly. Yeah, well, I think that's all for today in general.
Yeah, I think that is it for today.
Yeah,
so we will be back on what date is that? We will be back at it again on the 2nd of June?
Yeah, June 2nd. I don't know the team yet, but it might be a full-on character creation. I don't know. We'll discuss it on the...
We can do something. We can do something a little fun. I'd like to... Maybe I can take the reins. Maybe I can lore dump something with my lore skills.
Oh, that'll be interesting. Yeah. But again, everyone, thanks for watching. If you missed something, I'm gonna be uploading the bot immediately after this, and there's gonna be a Twitch bot. You can watch whatever you want. I honestly suggest there are some interesting things here, and once I finish the document for this system, I might release the document.
That'd be fun. We could see about maybe doing something with it. Maybe see about showing people how to play it.
Yeah.
I feel like that could be neat.
That would be cool. All right. That's all for today.
Alrighty.
Time to close.
Time to close up shop. Get going.
And by the way, I increased the salary of the little guys to $150.
Why? You didn't tell me that.
Don't worry about it. Do you see how much they sell for? I mean, how good are they selling things?
I mean, I get it, but like we established last time, they don't have anything going on upstairs. I don't know why they need money.
Don't worry, I sold them I sold them.
You're selling our birds?
Yeah, that's how we get more birds.
Are we trading birds or selling birds?
Chocolate birds. We're selling chocolate birds, you know? Okay, time to close.
Yeah, time to go.